Hari Om, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verse 9. Kshetra Kshetranya Vibhaga Yoga. In the last verse, Bhagwan Krishna said, Hey Arjuna, develop dispassion towards the objects of senses. Do not have excessive pride. Understand the nature of this body. That is, this body is subject to birth, death, decay, and disease. Carefully and clearly see all these things. Anudarshanam. All the attachments are because of this body, which is subject to decay, disease, and destruction. That is what Bhagwan Krishna said in verse 8. Now, verse 9. Asaktiranabhishvankagam putradara grihadisho nityam cha samachittatvam ittanittobhapattisho. This is a wonderful verse. Wonderful verse. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, Sakti here means attachment. It can also mean ownership. Asakti means absence of ownership. Ownership is different from possession. For a realized person, even the body, mind, and senses are his possessions. He does not own anything. It is only a possession. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, one cannot avoid possessions in life, but one can always avoid ownership, the thinking of ownership. According to Swamiji, there is no ownership of anything in life. Only temporary possession is given to us for the time being. One can easily appreciate and understand that everything is given to me, and because it was given to me, it can be taken away at any time. Whatever you have. Even Bhagwan Rama, he was a king. In a minute's time, he lost his this thing because of the change of circumstances. You may be a CEO of a company. Tomorrow you may be chucked out of the company. Many times you read the newspapers, you will know. Everything is given to you by Bhagavan, and it can be taken away in a minute's time, in a moment's time. Why minute? One must develop the attitude that I am only a managing trustee of my body, mind, and senses, and a few other things, which was given by Bhagwan Krishna. This is what Swamiji says. Your happiness and sorrow is connected to your son, wife, and house. Most of us, once we get married, like your father was attached to his wife and sons and daughter. You are also attached to your wife, son, and daughter, and the house. This is Abhishmanka. You identify yourself with them. If they are happy, I am happy. If they are unhappy, I am miserable. Abhishmanka means excessive attachment. Affection and emotional dependence are totally different. Anabhishvanga means excessive attachment to anything must be avoided. No excessive attachment to anything, whether it is wife, son, daughter, or house. Small example, why Dasaratha died while Kausalya Mata lived? You ask this question to yourself. Bhagwan Rama left the palace. He was sent to forest. Dasaratha died, but Kausalya lived. Why? Dasaratha died because of his excessive attachment towards Bhagwan Rama. Mata Kausalya survived because she loved Rama. There is absolutely not even one gram of difference in the love. But she understood that everything is a play of Bhagwan. So that is why she lived. But Dasaratha died. According to me, this is not given by Swami Dayananda Saraswati. I only think in this manner. Then Bhagavan says, Nityam Samachitvam. Samachittatvam. That is constant or always maintained. constantly or always maintaining mental equanimity. Ishta anishta upapattishu. That is, sameness of mind in desirable and undesirable situations. The mind becomes elated with desirable situations or happenings, whatever happens in your life, and it feels depressed with undesirable situations or happenings. Constantly, the mind is under agitation. An agitated mind is not fit for learning or doing anything. This is Swami Dayananda Saraswati says. An agitated mind is not fit for learning or doing anything. No matter what the situation is, a seeker must maintain composure, mental composure. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, composure is born out of prasada buddhi. Take everything as gift of God or given by God. Then you will get mental equanimity. Bhagavan already in chapter 2, verse 38 said this. सुखदुःखे समे कृत्वा लाभालाभौ जय जयौ तदो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापमवाप्स्यसि. Already said, Bhagavan said this in chapter 2, verse 38. Hey Arjuna, consider sukha and dukkha, gain profit or loss, victory and failure. All are same. Fight the battle. You will not incur sin. Sin means mental agitation. This we have seen already. Sin means mental agitation. You will not incur sin. That is what Bhagavan says in that verse. For Arjuna, it is Kurukshetra war. For us, it is life. So, each one have to appreciate that all these are obverse and reverse of the same coin. Having come into this life, desirable and undesirable situations will come to all. No one is exception. Even if you become a sannyasi, even if you are a householder, desirable and undesirable situations 100% will come. Nobody can say, sir, throughout my life I had only desirable situations. I was happy throughout my life. It cannot be. You have to keep yourself happy. Keeping the mind cool is the art of winning both. That is what Bhagavan says. Swami Chinmayananda says, another interpretation of this verse. Swami Chinmayananda says, this verse indicates the non-identification of the self with the non-self. Please carefully note. It's very interesting. We get attached to ourselves to wife, son, or house, or n number of other things. I'm very much attached to my pen and watch. So many things, peculiar things are there. Man is a social animal, and the highest punishment a man can have is solitary confinement. But that does not mean a man attaches himself excessively to his wife, son, home, and live unintelligently. Swami Chinmayananda says, in this verse, the words are used metaphorically, while son represents all those who look up to us for support. A son or daughter always look to the father for support. So whoever looks to you for support, they are represented as son here. Wife signifies all those to whom we look for support. Generally, wife is the strongest support for a husband. At least I don't have any doubt. Uh, she is the greatest support for a husband, a good wife. So it signifies you depend on so many people for support, and wife represents that. Excessive attachment and identification is the cause for all mental agitations. Then Swamiji says how to maintain mental equipoise while living in the midst of all these relationships. Sir, you are saying this without, how can I live? Without a relationship, how can I live? Swami Chinmayananda says, build a wall of discrimination around the inner personality and keep all the disturbances away. Without this, no progress or growth is ever possible. This is what Swamiji says. Having said that, Adi Shankara in Bhajagovindam highlights the importance of detachment while intelligently living in this world. He says, Yavat vitto parjana saktaha tavan nija parivaro raktaha paschat jivati jarjara dehe vatam kobina prichadi gege. Adi Shankara cautions all of us. He says, as long as you are a good earning member in the family, very, very carefully, beautifully put across these points, very, very wonderful. I cannot express that. You have to understand it. That much I can say. How much we will understand, how much we will apply, that's a different matter. But at least we have the opportunity of learning all these things. He says, as long as you are a good earning member in the family, each one will show affection and love towards you. Somebody will say, oh, that fellow, he is my uncle, he is my brother, he is my husband, he is my father. But Adi Shankara says, when the old age comes, unfortunately, it comes in a lightning speed. When your capacity to earn wealth gets reduced, and when you are diseased, naturally old age comes, all the diseases automatically come. Eyes gets, you are not able to see properly, not able to hear. Then one or the other disease always. No one at home will care to speak even a word with you. They will put you in a corner of the house in a table, on a cot. That's it. Nobody, you will be sitting. Sometime somebody will come and give you something. Nobody will even talk a word with you. And don't misunderstand this verse. Adi Shankara brings the reality of life before our eyes. Don't get too attached with anything. That is what he says. Even as a householder, it is your duty. Spend for your family. Educate your sons and daughters. Keep all of them happy. But do not think that is the life. And the goal of your life is to make them happy. This is what we think. Even after death, sir, I don't mind, sir. After death also, I have kept so much for my wife and daughter and son. Alas, he says, if you think that way, be ready for the sorrow that is going to come in future. Always keep Bhagwan Krishna as a life and purpose of your life, goal of your life, while living in this world. Nothing is permanent. Even the affection shown by them towards you, that is not permanent. Then there is no point in saying, sir, I did this, I did that, but nobody is talking to me. That is what Adi Shankara says. Then further he says, Adi Shankara, in another verse he says, Kate Kanta Kaste Putraha Samsaro Yamativa Ayam Ativa, actually it is Vichitraha Kasyatvam Kakuta Ayadha Tatvam Chintaya Tadiha Brataha. I may be reading it in a Sukmi Lagdi Ipli, that is not in a correct form, but don't worry about those things. The importance of this verse is more important than how I read it. He is asking, who is your wife? Who is your son? This samsara, that is Maya, is supremely wonderful. Who are you? From where you came? Hey brother, think of the truth. That is what he is saying in this verse. Adi Shankara beautifully brings out the Maya of this life. We get so attached with our respective wives, sons, daughters, and home. Life is nothing but a train journey. At some point in time, you boarded the train. You met some people in that coach. Either you got down first or they got down first. In between, you talked with them, ate something, chatted with them, enjoyed the train journey. Same is with the life. Who is your wife or son? At some point in time, they got into your carriage or the coach. And at some point in time, either they will leave you or you will leave them. They are not permanently attached to you or you to them. You question this, where from I came and where am I going? Think on this. Analyze, you will get answers for your life. Finally, he calls, this is also a wonderful interpretations. Finally, he calls brata, that is brata, that is brother. Hey, brother. Another interpretation of this word is branta, that is madman. This word is interpreted both as brother and madman. One way of looking at it is he lovingly advises people by calling Adi Shankara, by calling them as brother, or by calling them as mad people. Man is mad as far as life is concerned. Adi Shankara calls out people to come out of this madness, the Maya. When you make these inquiries, when you have detached attachment, very, very important, detached attachment with all the beings and things which you possess, not you want. Carefully note the words, which you possess. Whether you possess them or not, you will be equal minded at all times. Nobody says live your family. Leave. Live in your family. Live. Live in your family. But have detached attachment. Everything is given to you for the time being, whether good or bad. Nothing is permanent. You are only a trustee, as said by Swami Dayananda Saraswati. You are only a possessor and not a owner. Enjoy life, but never think that the goal of life is enjoyment and suffering for your relations. Get out of this madness. Generally, I don't quote any uh, silly songs in the Bhagavad Gita. I don't want to pollute or adulterate it. But if there is some good in anything, it can always be taken. Wherever there is good, we have to take it. In a Tamil movie, there is a wonderful song which beautifully brings out this. வீடு வரை உறவு, வீதி வரை மனைவி, காடு வரை பிள்ளை, கடைசி வரை யாரோ. Which means when you die, after your death, all your relations will come to your house. They will praise you. Oh, this fellow was a great fellow, a good man. Even if you are a 100% bad fellow, nobody will say after death you are the worst fellow. They will say, good man, he died. What to do? Kind of a thing. All your relations will come to your home after your death when your body is lying there. When your body starts your journey, the journey to the burial ground, your wife will come out of the house, put a namaskar in the street facing south, direction of south, and then she will get back into the house. See, normally the wives are the ladies. Generally, in Brahmin communities and in some communities, they don't go to the burial ground. They will come to the street crying, and then they will put a namaskar to facing the south, and then they will get back to the house. Then your son, he will bring the pyre, that is the fire, and then he will come up to the burial ground. He will put the fire on you. Then after that, your body will be burnt. You will return back to home. The final question is, who will come after that? That is the final question. Think on that. So the song says, Veedu varai uravu, Veedi varai manevi. Manevi means wife. Kaadu varai pillai. Pillai is son. Kadasi varai yaro. Who is going to come uh, after that? That you think. This is what it says. Finally, some CEOs have become sannyasis by keeping their family photo on the table. And some ordinary employees have become CEOs by keeping the photo of their family on the table. Both are true. With that, we will stop. Verse 9. असक्तिरणभिष्वङ्गगं पुत्रदारगृहादिषु नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु. Next verse we will see tomorrow. Arihom Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu. Narayan 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 नारायण 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 नारायण